Hello everybody and welcome to Heroes Lounge weekly recap for week number 8. Once again, there's an awful lot for us to get through, so I'm just going to get straight in with the results of last Super Sunday, which there were 8 or 9 different games that happened last Sunday. Sunday is as busy as ever, and last week we had Stitches Wants to Play versus Throw the Advantage, Fast Transition versus Super Happy Fun Time, Vina Veritris versus Odiro Gaming, which is now called Nightmare. We had a second game of Stitches Wants to Play versus Team TFT. We had My Insanity versus Lord of the Pings, Beginner AI versus Stormstout Brewery, Overextended versus The Last Word, Agents 007 versus The Forever Alones, and Jaywalkers versus ESOX. Now, of the upsets, some of those games went kind of as we were expecting, but some of the games that were the ones that we were not is that My Insanity lost to Lords of the Pings at 2-0, and Stitches Want to Play also lost to Throw the Advantage and to Team TFT. Otherwise, not too many surprises going on in there, but all of the divisions at the top, except for Div 2, which, well, I say all the divisions. Div 1 and 3, there's still a load to play for, which we'll get to for tomorrow's lineup, or today's lineup even, of the Super Sunday. This week, once again, of course, no exception, the HGC Open Division was going on, and there were 5 Heroes Lounge teams registered for this week, which were Gorge Good Alt, Gaming the Rhythm, Blame the Healer, ESOX, and Team Solid. Now, Gorge Good Alt got a bye for round 1, and then in round 2 they lost to Natalie is Freezing. Gaming the Rhythm unfortunately went out to the Heroes Lounge Reaper that is WP.me in round 1. Blame the Healer also went out round 1 against For the Money. ESOX, however, did exceptionally well, getting 2-0 versus Code Sigma for round 1, 2-0 against the Pro Noobs for round 2, and eventually lost in round 3 of the top, which I believe is the top 16, against the Salty Koalas. Team Solid Division 2 also had a really good showing. They went up against Furrow Nexus for round 1, and then We Love Cookies, and did lose to We Love Cookies in round 2. For the semi-finals of last week's, last week's HGC, Last Cup's winners Team Zealot lost against Pulsar Pamenta, I think I'm reading that right, which is a team of Mopiso and Sizshu. Yeah, let's go with that. I can't pronounce words. We know this. And semi-final 2 was second place MMA lost against Tossers. That's British slang. I have to giggle a little bit when I say the word Tossers. Don't look it up. Eventually, Tossers did one against Polska Pamita. Foreign neck. I'm dyslexic. Just deal with this. Anyway, the next cup will be happening on Monday, the 13th of February, beginning at 18:00 Central European Time. The registrations are open now, so if you Heroes Lounge teams fancy a crack, then go register and go enjoy. Now, because we're in round 8, there is this week and one more week to go, meaning the playoffs are imminent. And as a reminder, Division 1 has 8 spaces available for the playoffs. Division 2 has 5, and Division 3 has 3 spaces available. And there are still 4 teams at the top of Division 1 vying for control, which are Natus Dominari, the No Trick Ponies, Gorge Good Alt, and the Unstoppable Fat 5. Again, honourable mention still to Lord of the Pings, who have gone 5-0. I say they are currently 9th place. One more win will get them into the playoffs, which will be very, very good for a team that managed to miss 2 games in general. Now, you may have noticed up in the corner, there is a brand spanking new column to your division rundown. Now, this is known as the map score. It's our new way of being able to break down teams. Break down team order in division positioning. What it basically is a total of your wins and losses of individual games, not of your wins and losses of the overall matches. To give an example, I'll use my own team, which is the Late Game Heroes. We and the opponents we faced last week, which were Baywatch. Now, both teams are 3 wins and 4 losses. Now, you can see we're ranked immediately above Baywatch because we have a map score of -1, and they have a map score of -3. Now, you'd think with wins and losses being the same, you'd think those scores would line up. Now, what it actually is, if we look specifically at the game between us and Baywatch, the Baywatch did win 2-1, not 2-0. If they had won 2-0, then both teams would be sat at -2. But because we have the one game difference, despite having the same score of wins and losses, then we are technically ahead of them in the league. Just, I should point out, but that's still a way as it counts. This is just due to the number of places we've kind of got going on for divisions. It just makes us ordering the divisions a hell of a lot. For Division 1 games this week, the Natus Dominari team beat Stitches Want to Play 2-0, and the Jaywalkers beat My Insanity 2-0 also during this week. Faustus Still Bugged also 2-0 against Zero Tinder matches. The Division 1 for Sunday coming, or still not booked in at time of filming. No Trick Ponies versus Blame the Healer. That's going to be a good game. We have Team TFT versus Boosted Animals. There is no ETA on that. Lord of the Pings will play Jaywalkers also at some point this week. Gaming the Rhythm against KR Bronze Tier happened earlier, and I can't remember the result right now. And also, we have the game of the week happening tomorrow at 8:30 CET. Not just the game of the week, not the Division 1 game of the week. This is quite possibly the game of the entire season. It is Fat 5 versus Gord Goodalt. That is going to be one hell of a game. Nero will be casting it. He called shotgun on that the moment the placements got announced last week. So Nero will be casting that tomorrow. So go and watch that game. That is going to be one hell of a game. Let's give Division 2 a little bit of focus now for your attention, because it's been a very interesting week for Division 2. First of all, being a complete upset for the top of the table, which is the Starboys have lost to Balance of Interests 1-2. That was an extreme upset from Balance of Interest and has taken the undefeated record away from Starboys, meaning the only undefeated team in Division 2 now is Fro Inc., who are currently drawing with Team Solid at 7 wins. Starboys actually have to play Fro Inc., which is going to be the top match of Division 2 this week. There is no ETA on that as at time of filming. Team Solid beat Firebats, Insiders won against the Agents, and Nightmare beat FSN. Crocodocs are active again after a slight hiatus and we're playing the Order of Gul'dan on Monday. Mad Scientists managed to beat the Biaz's team of the Forever Alones, but they still have to play their round 7 matchup against the Aberfures. So we could be seeing a bit more activity from the Crocodocs. Kirby Pyrotap also managed to beat FSN, but they also, again, still have to play the round 8 game against Aberfures. I suspect that's a scheduling thing from the Aberfures. That's currently in for Monday the 13th, which is getting quite late in the day, which is actually the last week we can do. But Division 2, actually, with that upset, has opened the door right up for people to go back in. Donna Fedoras are looking to basically stay in the top spots. Team Solid and Fro Inc. should be happily in there, but it could be anyone of Kirby Pyrotap, the Mad Scientist, Nightmare, or Crocodocs potentially getting them in the top 5 if a couple of these matches don't go the way of some of the teams at the top. And Division 3. There are still 8 teams at the top of Division 3, all with 7 wins. 2 of them are now not undefeated, which are Mediocris and Team Karazim, leaving Blackheart's Booty, Sharan, the Silver Plebs, Up in Smoke, Stormstout Brewery, and the Overextenders at 7-0. Guys, matchmaking. Just someone lose a game. God damn it, you're making the rest of us look bad. As for scheduling of these top teams this week, Sharan have to play Beginner AI. That's happening on the Tuesday coming. Now, of this week, also Mediocris, their losses were from last week. Mediocris beat Puppies and Shark Tanks, and Team Karazim beat Go Feed also during this week. Blackheart Booty, while they previously won MVP Bronze against the second, they've still got to play their round 6 matchup against Fast Transition, which will be going on as part of the Super Sunday tomorrow. to basically get themselves at the top of the table. Sharan have got to play Beginner AI, which is scheduled for Tuesday the 7th. Also of this round, top match for Division 3 this week is the Silver Plebs will face the Overextenders. That is happening tomorrow as part which I believe is kicking off the Super Sunday at 16:00 CET. Up in Smoke have got to play Potatoes, but there is no ETA for that yet. And Stormstout Brewery are playing a placeholder, which I believe is happening next Friday on the 10th. So guys, this week's Super Sunday coming up in no less than probably about 4 hours since when this video gets released. We have, as we said, kicking off Silver Plebs versus the Overextenders at 4 o'clock, which is the top match of Division 3 this week. At 5 o'clock, we have the No Trick Ponies versus Blame the Healer. At 6 is Shisha Boys versus Throw the Advantage. Starting at 8 is my game of the Late Game Heroes versus The Last Word. Jaywalkers versus Lords of the Pings also goes on at the same time. Also, Fast Transition versus Blackheart Booties is at 9, at the same time as Don Avadoras versus Vino Ventris. And, of course, the match of the week, which is God Good Alt versus Fat Five, is going on at 8:30. Set your calendars. I hope the entire lounge is in to watch what is going to be an absolute stormer of a match. In final other news, guys, of course, we too have giveaways going on as per normal. This week's giveaway, which should be getting given out on Tuesday, is an Azmodan skin with his greenness and his horns and his nipple rings. And also, we do still have the 1,000 Twitter follower giveaway going on for a €20 battle card. So make sure you start following at Heroes Lounge on Twitter to be in with a chance of winning a €20 Blizzard gift card. And that's it from me this week, everyone. Apologise for the slight quick rundown of this video. I ran out of time quite rapidly. But again, hope you all enjoyed and hope you'll tune back in for what is going to be another ridiculous week in Heroes Lounge. Week number 9, the last week of games before the playoffs. It is going to be an absolutely hectic week, and we hope you join us then. Bye-bye now.